Hey y'all, this is Joe from St. Bernard Acres. Got home from work a short time ago. Gail went to work. The dogs are panting away after being outside barking like banshees, going all crazy. I want to do a quick video. I watch a lot of YouTube videos on prepping, and I see different preppers and different channels because you get different ideas of things that you're going to need and how to do things, and you can discount most of them. The one I don't like, what I don't like about so many of them, they have this attitude that I have prepped my 3 years worth of food for my family and water and guns and ammo, and if you come anywhere near my property, I'm going to kill you. I'm so worried about protecting my little stash here of food that I'm getting other people to come to my compound to help provide security so we can kill everybody that didn't prep and is going to be coming by here. I don't agree with that. I think that's pretty ludicrous, actually. I look at prepping differently. I'm going to be able to survive any event that occurs that is survivable, but I want to do more than just survive. I want to be able to guarantee myself and my family a future after surviving whatever event it is that we would have to go through. And by that I mean having the established gardens and the chickens and the rabbits and those kind of things on the homestead before the event happens, or immediately after the event happens, being in a position to do that. And I'm stockpiling seeds because I have a lot of ammunition. I have enough ammunition to do what I think I need to do, and including hunting and self-defense and defending our property. I don't see an event that would cause that. If you could do like a timeline, the way I see it, within 24 hours this is going to happen, within 48 hours this will happen, and a week later and 2 weeks later, while out in the rural areas where we are, where most of us practice our prepping and we have our bug out locations and everything, you're looking at a couple weeks before anybody even gets out there, 3 weeks maybe, before you would ever see anybody. As far as, a group of marauders go that you might have to defend yourself against. You're going to see other people, but as far as the group thing goes, I don't see that happening for a few weeks. And by the time they get there, there's not going to be a lot of them left. I mean, disease is going to take a lot. Their infighting is going to take a lot. They're going to be hungry, they're going to be desperate, and they're going to be dying. There's not going to be a lot of fight in them to begin with, so it's not like you're going to have to defend yourself against the Chinese army. So you don't need all of that ammo and you don't need an armory, in my opinion. And where you have your thousands and hundreds of thousands of rounds of ammunition, I have thousands of packets of seeds. I think in the long run that's going to be more valuable to barter with than bullets. And trust me, I will not need any of your bullets in trade for my seeds. My prepping idea, the way I look at it, is I know there are people in the community who are not prepping, who don't know, that they need to be awake. They're just not going to do it. But I also know that they're family people, and they're going to be hungry, and they're going to need help. And I want to prep in a manner in which I have the opportunity to help people. Now, you're going to have people come up who are probably on their way somewhere, on their way to other family, or they're on their journey to get to their bug out location or whatever, and they're hungry and they're thirsty. I want to be able to give them a little bit of food, give them some water, help them on their journey to where they're going, not kill them because they don't belong anywhere near my food. This is for my family. You've got your food for your family, and you got 30 extra guys who came to your compound to bug out with you to help provide security. Well, once that security is not needed, you got to feed those 30 people out of your family's food. What are you going to do? I don't want to be one of those people that came to help you defend it, because after the defense is over with, you don't need me anymore. So no, I don't agree with that kind of thing at all. I do agree with helping people when I can, especially community-wide. The more people that can grow food, the better it is for all of us. Because if the commerce is shut down and there's no place to go buy food, as many people as possible around you need to be growing food. And that you can barter. So, in that sense, that's something I would pass out to people in my neighborhood, are seeds, to get them going. Because after the first couple of seasons and harvest, you'll be harvesting seeds by then, and you won't need it. You'll have a growing thing, a working thing going. And I'll have my chickens. I'll be able to, pass on a couple of chicks to different families to provide some eggs, let them have chickens, provide some meat. But no, I just think that's something that needs to be thought about and discussed. Prep with a future in mind, with building the future, or rebuilding, if you will. Starting over. Think of the homesteaders back, when the pioneering the West, and you could get your plot of land and you had to improve it and you had to sow your seeds and raise a crop, Well, it was the generosity and the kindness of others who helped you get your crop going and gave you seeds, and we may wind up back in those kind of times. And if you have that attitude of, this is all mine, I'm going to kill anybody that comes near it. Where's your compassion? Where's your humanity? If that's what is going to wind up surviving, if that's the kind of society and lack of humanity that makes it through the event, then is it even worth rebuilding for that? I just don't understand the need to feel that way and not be thinking about your fellow humans. And if you're in a position where, okay, you've got 3 years worth of food stashed for your family, maybe you could stash a little bit more to help some other people out. And not condemn them to death because they weren't bright enough to prep like we were. Yeah, they think we're crazy, but other people do things that I think they're crazy. I know we can't prep to take care of everybody, but you're not going to have to take care of everybody. Think about a few people around you. Your neighbor that thinks you're crazy for what you're doing and laughs about you. When he's knocking at your gate and asking you for some food to help him out, give him some. Let him work for some of it if you have to. Give him some seeds and say, here, go plant this, go, harvest this, come to my garden and pick yourself some, vegetables if it's that time of year. You know, I have hundreds of stuff canned that I can share. Um, that's how we have to look at it. We have to be that kind of humans to get through this kind of stuff. You know, I think back in the 70s, mid to late 70s, I was hitchhiking around the country. You know, I was basically homeless. And I had a, backpack and bedroll, and I would just hitchhike from place to place. You know, no particular place to go. And there were not, on these interstates, you know, at every exit, wasn't the chain restaurants. It was all, mostly mom and pop things and independent restaurants, independent truck stops, and you could go into a place. I did it many, many times. Go into a place and say, look, I don't have any money. Is there some work I can do in trade for a meal? And let me tell you, not one time was that ever refused. Not once. There was always something I could do. Break down all those boxes over there. Take out our trash, clean up this room. And they always gave you a good meal, gave you a few bucks, and you could be on your way. And that's how I picture I want to be after whatever event we're prepping for, is to be in a position where I can help people out like that. And you should think along those lines. Don't just automatically think you're going to kill everybody who doesn't prep. You will need help someday. And if your heart is, if you believe in your heart you're going to kill everybody who asks you for food, then nobody's going to help you. Karma is a bitch. And I think karma's going to come back on that one. That's just my thoughts on it. And my main thing is, seeds are going to be more valuable than bullets. For all you people who tell me bullets are going to be the best thing to barter with, I don't think so. It's going to be seeds. It's going to be a pathway to self-reliance is what's going to be valuable. And if I can do a little bit to help people on that pathway, then I feel I have properly prepared for whatever's going to come. I have enough to get my family and me through for, enough time to get things harvested, get gardens going, the fruit trees, the hunting, so we're prepared in that manner. And it doesn't cost too much to, buy a bunch of seeds a month. And just stick them aside for when it's necessary. And get your whole community growing food. And you can all share in the bounty. Pass out chickens to people. I'm not going to give you any eggs, but I'll give you chickens that will lay eggs because I'm going to be having chicks. I'm not going to sell them. I'm going to give them to you so that you can grow your own food. You can have your own chickens going. You can get rabbits, and you won't need to come and steal my food. We will be able to set up a table in the middle of the road and all of us bring our food to it. That's how I see surviving through an event. That's what I see on the other side of it. You guys that are only worried about what you have for your family and all of your guns and all of your extra people to provide security, you don't see that table and you don't see that bounty with everybody sharing, everybody who has worked to rebuild the neighborhood or the community. We're not going to be rebuilding a country, but our community we're going to be rebuilding. And you guys can't see that. You have to look beyond your family and look at the future you're going to leave for your family. Because St. Bernard Acres is going to be there for my kids and my kids' kids. and there's going to be a stocked pantry, there's going to be gardens, everything's going to be in place. That if the world doesn't end, I mean, if it's the end of the world, who cares? But I'm saying if an EMP event happens, or you know, an economic collapse, if you know, we suddenly find ourselves having to start over again, the dollar is worthless, we have no food, we have no gas, you know, we can't buy anything, we're still going to be able to be fine and help each other out. So that's my response to bullets being a great barter item. I think seeds will be a better barter item. Get people on the path to self-reliance, and they won't come and steal your food. If you got nothing to offer to help them get on their own, if you got nothing to help them make it, they are going to try to steal your food. That's all I got to say. Hope you all enjoyed this. I'm going to try that. I wanted to make a 4 or 5 minute video, and that's impossible for me, because I just talk. It never stops. But let me get this up for you guys. I will talk to you all later. Please like and share and comment on this. All that helps.